Hello everyone, this is DisturbingPuppet back again. Today we're actually doing something a little different. Instead of continuing with the Blood Bowl campaign today, I'm going to take a little break and play a little bit of Mordheim. I've been playing campaigns so far with Mercenary Band, so I'm just going to kind of continue with that. If people are interested, I might upload something down the road, but I'm not planning on uploading this regularly. Mainly it's just kind of playing my regular game, and things are actually going really well right now, so I thought I would kind of share a little bit about the game and show off what I'm doing. It definitely was pretty hard early on, but now it's going a lot better. So we will continue. I was kind of recommended to start with the Mercenary Band, so that's what I did. You can see my success rate, 80%. Enemies out of action ratio is pretty decent. My first 4 or 5 matches went really rough, and that's when I renamed my band the Unlucky Few. And after that, I've actually been doing really, really well. I was getting beat up really badly and stuff, and I read a few kind of recommendations and things what to do. And some of it sort of, made sense. Keep your guys together, try to gang up on your opponents, that kind of thing. So this is kind of the main screen, kind of your daily sort of things that you can do. So you can shop, do stuff with your guys. Smuggler's Den is mainly for selling the Wordstone, which is sort of the main reason you're here. Veteran System is sort of upgrades that you get that carry over from each warband as you do certain things. Gives you points to that. Campaign is just kind of continuing the campaign. Next day moves time along. You can only do 1 campaign mission per day. So I never did play the board game of this. Something I was always interested in, but I never picked up. I did play Necromunda and had terrible luck with that, which is part of the reason I wasn't super excited about Mordheim. None of the people I really played games with back then got copies of Mordheim, so we never really got into it. I was expecting the game to be a bit more kind of like a converted Games Workshop board game and being sort of a third-person camera kind of thing, but this sort of works where it's third-person, but it's directly behind each individual guy as it goes through their turns and stuff. Kind of gives you percentages for all your shots and things. It seems like it's based more on percentages and not a d6. So it's got a little bit more kind of robustness there for that. So let me just check. Okay, everything seems to be streaming okay. So I'm just going to do kind of a quick match here, hopefully. And then if you're interested, I do put videos up on YouTube eventually, and I will be doing, probably next time I stream, I'll do more of the Blood Bowl stuff that's been going. So my warband, you have guys that you can take out, and then you sort of have reserves. So they're up here, but it's also sort of here. This is an empty slot, so I could get additional guys just to fill. So right now what I have, you can see the little cross, and the number is people that are injured and how many days that they're going to be injured. So all of these guys back here in the reserves, as it's sort of highlighting them in green, are all injured for a certain number of days. I'm not sure if you can actually force someone to go out on a mission if they're recovering. I haven't been in that position yet. So you do have kind of limits on how many of each kind of character you can take with you on a mission. You can only have 1 leader with you. So here we have leader. There's only 1 spot underneath. The icon is different, so this is the leader icon. I do have a backup leader. He actually was my original leader who got hurt right away. And then I bought another one, but since I've had this guy, he hasn't been injured, so he's been doing a lot. And the large blue number next to his name seems to be level. The number underneath is sort of steps towards getting to the next level. Some general information there. Heroes, I've got 3 spots now. As you go through, you unlock more spots. I think I started with 1. So this icon is for a Youngblood, which is kind of a more general character, maybe a little bit more melee-based. They're the first hero you can unlock, you can start with. And then I have a couple champions, which I just recently unlocked these guys. There's also warlocks so far who can do magic, but I haven't picked up any of them. When I was doing the tutorials and stuff, it seemed like magic was really inconsistent, so I haven't really been in a rush to grab any of those guys. Then, of course, this sort of icon is ranged characters, so I have a level 5 ranged guy, and then a level 2. So this guy has a hunting rifle, this guy has a bow. This icon's sort of your regular general warriors. I have some guys in different kinds of gear and stuff. I'm not sure how interested people are in that, but I'll do kind of a quick rundown. So my leader here is in heavy armor with a helmet. He's got pistols. This is sort of the inventory screen. So I actually have kind of master crafted heavy armor here. That's why it's blue. I've got regular pistols, and then I've got a master crafted hammer and shield, so I can switch between the two if I want. And that was one thing that helped early on, was when I started, everyone just kind of had the one setup, and then I sort of added some ranged weapons to people so I could soften up enemies as they came towards me, and that did help quite a lot. And then I've got a couple items here, the healing draft and some antitoxin. He can use that on himself or use it with someone who's within close range. So this hero I've mainly used for range stuff. He's fairly decent ballistic and weapon skill. So he's got a crossbow for ranged, and then for close-up, I've been using Mastercrafted Greatsword that I got with him, which is sort of... it's good for the amount of damage it does, but I can't do anything other than just take hits. I have a chance to dodge, but it's not really good. So that's kind of all I can really do if I'm getting attacked. The champions here are fairly recent, so they're both, well, one's level 0, one's level 1. I've got not much ballistic ability here, with only 3 with these guys, so I didn't even bother giving them ranged weapons. One of them with a shield and an axe and heavy armor, one with a halberd and heavy armor. Ranged guys, I'm doing something a little weird with them. I actually have blunderbusses as a backup. I don't really want them in combat, so if I get in combat, I just try to get out of it and then pull out my blunderbuss, which is basically a shotgun, and try using that. So the same here, I have a longbow and a blunderbuss. So it's a little weird, but it's actually worked fairly well. I've got a couple melee guys with heavy armor and shields. Their ballistic skill is also not very good, so I didn't bother giving them anything. So they're really just kind of here to tie guys up, gang up on enemies, beat them up, take some hits, they can take some damage. And then I have a lower level guy, and this is kind of what your warriors start with, just kind of a mace and a hammer. So they're dual wielding, they do a decent amount of damage, but really all they can do is dodge for attacks, they can't really do much else. So my wounded guys back here, I'm not really going to worry about or show off anything. Some of them do have equipment and things as well. I could swap out some of the stuff, but I'm not going to bother to. My overall warband rating, I think, is it here? Or is it back here? 1183. I've been doing really well on getting good equipment and leveling up guys, but I haven't really been increasing my rating much. It seems like when I go into missions, I'm always evenly matched or outmatched by my opponents lately, so I'm not sure how it's sort of scaling up the enemies. You can see the little icons here on some of these guys with a green dot. It means that they have some skill points that I can use to spend for getting some skills. Skills take time to train, but also a lot of gold. Even a very basic, simple skill costs 100 gold, and gold really is a major problem in this game. I've only recently kind of gotten ahead of it, and it's very easy to spend 200 gold on one guy's one skill. That takes a couple days to train, and then you're kind of out of money. After each mission, you'll have to pay for any medical costs for guys for treatment. Then you've got to pay a fee to everybody who played in or took part in that mission or scenario based on their level. So that really eats away at your gold really quickly. There's also a shop where you can buy stuff. Selling stuff gets you very little, kind of really special items here that are pretty unusual, uncommon, only about 6 gold for a lot of things. These are 10, 20, 30. That's not very much. For basic weapons, you're talking 2, maybe 1. Swords are only 2 gold, spears are 2 gold, hammers are 1, maces, daggers 1. So selling stuff doesn't really get you a lot of gold. What you want to do is get Wordstone, which is kind of what this is built around. Wordstone sort of, if you're familiar with Warhammer Fantasy or the old Warhammer Fantasy, it's sort of congealed essence of chaos used for all kinds of nasty things by Skaven especially. So it's very valuable. You're required sometimes to send shipments to your sponsor, who is Baron von Leitdorf here. If you don't fulfill his requests, then bad things happen. There's also other factions you can send stuff to, or you can send extra stuff to him if you want. So mainly this is the way you're going to get gold. Depending on who you're sending gold to, the prices will vary from faction to faction. Right now it's all pretty even at additional 33% over what it would normally be. But when I had sent my sponsor some stuff that he asked for and then some extra stuff, it actually dropped with him to a negative, so it does go negative if you're favoring one faction over the other. And I did send some stuff off recently to the Brigensburg, and it was actually offering me 50% above normal cost, so that worked out pretty well. So what I'm just going to do is just jump into a mission, and we'll kind of go from there and show off what you've got going on. Hopefully I won't get hammered. Things have been going pretty well, so just hoping to continue. So the campaign gives you a little map with some options. I do have kind of a story mission here, but these I've done one already. It was really, really long and much harder than a normal mission. The rating there, I'm not sure it really matches. Maybe it's more of a recommendation, at least that. So we've got a normal difficulty, Wordstone Rush, Wordstone symbol very poor, that means very little, Wordstone available, the chest icon is sort of extra stuff you can find, weapons, potions, that kind of stuff, chance very poor. So it kind of gives you a little bit of info, one warband tightly around its wagon, the other divides into 3 strike teams. We've got this one's brutal, it's good and exceptional. Each warband deploys in a wide arc from their wagon, far from each other. Brutal is really brutal, and it's generally pretty tough. There's only one. I think deadly is worse than that. I think it refers to the difference between your rating and the opponent warband's rating. I haven't seen a normal in a long time, and I don't really need much right now, so I'm actually thinking just doing this to get some experience, just kind of quickly to show off stuff, and hopefully it would be a pretty quick mission. So I'm just going to do this one, I think. You can use gold to try to find some additional mission locations, and this sometimes is pretty useful. If everything that comes up is like deadly or really, really bad, you might want to do that, and it's fairly inexpensive. The first time you do it, it costs this amount, and then if you want to do it again, it'll add cost. But I'm just going to go with this, it's fine. So here again, you can sort of play around with your the guys that you're taking on the mission. I've already got that set up. So I'll pick launch and deploy, which means I'm going to choose where my guys start if I have a choice.
An enemy warband is hurrying to recover a secret cache of equipment in the area. With this information, you are able to beat them to the location and deploy patrols to watch for the enemy's arrival.
So fairly... So I can win by making the enemy warband rout or put them all out of action. If you take out half their guys, they'll have to make leadership rolls, and if they fail, then they just kind of run away. You automatically win. That's typically what happens. The objective, the optional objective, I think you can't actually win if you do that. It's just something that you might want to aim for. There's probably some additional bonuses, benefits that you get from that. I don't think I've ever actually completed the optional objectives, because even if you're doing really well, you're beating up the opponents, you're kind of busy fighting them instead of grabbing wordstone or grabbing items. So you almost always are going to win by them failing a leadership roll before you get a chance to do that, it seems like, anyway. So this is sort of the setup. You can see you kind of have a wagon that has some of your stuff in it, and you kind of want to defend that. The opponent will also have a wagon somewhere on the field, and you can go steal stuff from his wagon if you can get it on your guys and back. So this is just kind of the setup phase. It's showing where I can put guys. This is sort of the overhead map setting. So I can kind of see I do have a limited number of guys I can put here. I've got 9 guys in my squad, and there's only 4 spots right next to my wagon. So I have to see where the other deployment locations. So we've got 3 down here. This is the opponent's wagon. It looks like they must be the vampires, undead kind of people. Leader's always a vampire. They're pretty tough, actually. And then we've got some spots up here. So what you want to do is try to keep your guys together as much as possible. This is not a great setup, though, for that. What I'll probably do is split my guys up into 3 groups of 3. Although these guys are not in a great position. Up here, I could move anyone I put here kind of this direction while these guys move up here and sort of get them all together. or get them all together, kind of focusing on this giant cluster of wardstone, which is probably where he's going to go as well, but he's closer. So I can sort of converge with 7 guys there. So I could just put a couple down here instead of doing 3 groups of 3. So I think that's what I'll do instead, actually. So to start with, I'll have my range guys in front. So this is a fine position for him. This is my very weak melee guy. So I may, as you can kind of see, if I hit next location, it can sometimes jump you right around the map someplace, and it can be kind of confusing to keep track of without switching to the map. This guy's fairly weak. I don't really want him necessarily on the front lines. But I don't really want to leave him alone either. I may use him down here as one of these 2 that I'm going to put off on this kind of side location. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And just try to keep him out of harm's way if possible. So I've got 1 range guy in this group, so this range guy I'm going to move into the other group. Not this one, but this one. So this is kind of the upper position. So the ideal would be for them to move down, sort of covering maybe from here, covering those directions, moving these guys up as well onto this. Most likely they'll come straight up right to the wardstone, but they might dig around through the rooms and the houses and stuff trying to get other resources. So I'll put him in front. My leader... To sort of toughen up this group, I think I'll put him in here. He's one of my best guys. This Youngblood is also a pretty good guy. Good ranged ability. He's got the great sword. Put him in my main group. Attach him there, just General Warrior. This is one of my newer champions, pretty brand new. This is the guy that hasn't leveled up yet. Throw him there, my other champion there, and then my last other warrior can go down here. So enemies are going before me. Up at the top you can kind of see the order. If you can spot a guy, it'll actually show you an icon there. So if any of my guys can see, it should switch to whoever can see it. You can see kind of the red pillar in the sky. That's sort of where their wagon is, just to kind of give you a general reference from this perspective. In the upper left-hand corner, the blue and the red bars. The blue is my unit's leadership, so top is my current leadership, so the maximum leadership, and then that kind of bar and the number lower down is sort of where you'll have to make leadership rolls to see if you're going to actually like flee off the map or not. So one thing I found that's very useful is you want to switch out to the map. Sometimes you don't actually see guys when you're looking from your guy's perspective, seeing enemies. But if you spotted them, they'll be on the map, and maybe their last position, it'll have a question mark if you're not sure where they went, but you saw them somewhere. So it kind of helps to sort of figure out where they're at, where they're moving to, switching to the map, because sometimes you really can't see them when you're looking from this perspective. So I've got little blue dots and then the red skulls. One is offense points, one is strategy points. I'm not even sure which is which, actually. I don't remember. The blue is basically for your movement. So you can see kind of the little circle around me. That's my movement. I can move for one of those little blue dots. And then you can see on the screen in the middle, there's for 2 blue dots, I can go into a dodge stance, which gives me a 45% chance of dodging an attack. So that's something you want to try to keep if you can, depending on what you want to do. With him, I'm going to want to put him in an overwatch, which means he'll shoot at someone who comes, which is your red So for attacking or being in Overwatch or being ready for an ambush, you use the red skulls. So I'm going to move him out here. One thing you can do if you move, it'll show you sort of a little glowing positions of where you were. If you haven't spotted anybody, you can actually go back and then move around different directions. It is sort of hard to figure out where things are sometimes in this game. If you're looking for stuff that's on the map, sometimes it's going to be up on a second floor, third floor, inside a building, so it's really hard to find sometimes. So scouting around is not a bad idea sometimes. So I'm going to take a look down this road. I don't see anything with my eyes, but we'll check the map and see. So nothing. So we want to head down that road to the intersection so we can head towards the giant pile of wordstone and link up with the other guys. So you can actually see on the ground there's some green glowing bits. That's actually the wordstone that's there on the ground. I'm not worried about staying in dodge stance, so I'm going to move forward a little bit. I want to be in Overwatch stance. So from here, I'm covering those two directions, and we'll just kind of drop him in Overwatch stance right there. So these guys are not in a great position. What I may just do is try to run them as fast as I can up this way towards this intersection here. I'm awfully close to the enemy. There really isn't anything around for me to kind of go for that I might want to grab, so just getting away and near my friendlies is probably the best thing I can do. Yeah, and I can see guys here. So now I've got them on the map, and I want to get away from them as quickly as possible. So I'm going to move as much as I can. You can actually see my ranged guy down there with his rifle at the ready. Probably can't shoot this far. So at this point, all I can do, I've used up all my movement, is ambush stance. So that means if someone moves within this red kind of radius, I will charge them. Although if they're charging me from outside of it, it seems like that won't work. There are sort of traps and things on the floor and sometimes on the wall that you have to watch out for. That weird fleshy thing on the ground there could actually be something that if I walk on it will spew horrible, nasty chaos goo on me. So I don't really want to walk over that. So unfortunately, all I'm going to be able to do is just kind of be in ambush stance there. Hopefully survive to get to my friendlies. But since he saw me, he might come rushing down that direction instead of towards the wordstone. So this archer I want to get down sort of here to sort of cover. So move him up so I can see the wordstone there in the ground. I actually have a shot at something. Oh, there's a guy right there. So I can see that this guy's already way up here. We've got a necromancer, a zombie. This is a vampire thrall, ghoul. Yeah, I don't see the actual vampire lord, but it's not super great to have him right there. So I can do a regular shot. I can probably also do an aim shot. Take a look and cycle through my stuff. I may not have enough. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and take the shot. Get a little bit of damage on him. He's already moved this turn, so I'm going to go ahead and reload. My other guys can come help defend him, hopefully. And then there's nothing else I can do, so the end of the turn. I've got eyes on them, so it's sort of showing me who can see and where. So she just got hit by a trap there. So it's kind of switching who can see where they're at. So I want to get my leader down here. I've got pistols with him to kind of wound people as they come in to range. He's very good in melee combat. He's been sort of geared up to being someone to parry very high, can take a lot of damage, so he can block stuff with his shield and then counterattack. The pistols are pretty short range though, so I'm probably not going to get a shot off unless somebody comes running right at us. I can move a little bit more. What I'm going to do is do a perception roll just to see if I can spot anything. So that was a success. So that'll highlight anything as far as gold or wordstone, traps, that kind of stuff, or even guys that are hiding right on the other side of walls. And from here, I'm just going to go in my Overwatch stance, so he'll take a shot at anybody coming into range. I'm a little concerned at how close I am to a lot of guys. So I'm going to get him out here as far as possible. I can see my own guy down there. You can see the little Skaven writing looking stuff there. That's usually a trap, so definitely don't walk on it. I know what it looks like, so I don't really need to do a perception roll just to double check. From here, I may be able to get a surprise shot in on somebody if they head towards those two. So I'm just going to go in Overwatch here. Might be too far away. Just running right up, take a shot. And we missed, unfortunately. Some nasty spell. And he's just going to hammer my guy here. You can see kind of the green, freaky ghost stuff usually marks the edge of the map. Unfortunately, my warriors aren't super fast, so I'll try to get down here. Yeah, this is as far as I can go. I can sort of position a little bit. All I can really do is go in ambush stance, nothing else I can really do. Yeah, I think the main fight is going to end up being down here, so I'm probably going to have to rush over as much as I can. Pick up some wordstone on the way, maybe. Fortunately, a lot of these warriors are kind of slow, so it does take a little while to kind of catch up. If you're scattered, it can be really dangerous. Oh, there's a vampire. So there are ways to get up. As you can kind of see there, there's sort of arrows up and down in blue, and that's areas where you can climb up, or if you're up, to jump down. You can't just go up and down anywhere you want. And you have to make a roll to succeed at that. If you fail going up, you get hurt and you don't actually make it up. If you're going down, you get hurt, but you end up down. So it can be really frustrating trying to climb something because you're going to get hurt and fail over and over again sometimes. And the more armor you're wearing, the less likely you are to make those kind of rolls. So here we're just running.
A new round has started.
He's moving a lot of guys up here. It's really dangerous. So my guy got stunned there. That's really bad. If you're stunned, you can't really do anything or defend yourself. Okay, let's see if we can get in range of anybody here. Just take a look, make sure there's nobody down this direction. Okay, we've got 50%, and that's it. If I move closer, I should have more targets. I want to grab some woodstone here too on the way. If I can finagle my position here. Take it a little bit forward. There we go. Yeah, the bigger one will be worth more. And you can see how much space I have to pick up stuff. So we'll grab the cluster.
Objectives updated.
So there'll be a roll to see if I get hurt by that or have some other negative effect. It actually looked like it healed me. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I can't do an aim shot. I can just do a regular shot. He's the only one in range. I can still move forward a little bit. Could be that he's blocking the other guy there directly. Yeah, so 31%, 50%. If I had more offense points, then I could do an aim shot, which have a better chance. It's just that he's in combat, so it reduces the amount of your stats towards actually getting a hit. Hopefully he doesn't end up swarming me here. And he's diverting somebody over in that direction. Yeah, so there's a guy back there, up here. He was in ambush stance. Sort of blocking my way forward. So if I move within that range, he's going to charge me, which isn't great. I'll see if I can move by him. Just get as far as I can. Okay, he recovered. Failed his all alone check, which means he's going to run away from combat, and they get free hits on him. I got stunned again. He's in a lot of trouble. So instead of reloading and trying to do shots, we're going to switch weapons. It does take some of your resources to do that. So the thing here is I'm much better able to deal with the tougher guy, but I might be able to totally destroy the ghoul. I'm going to try to keep the other guy here busy. So you can see my percentage chance to hit, bonuses, negatives, damage, and Y, and that kind of stuff. Just wail on this guy a bit. It'd be nice to stun him. So I have a whole 5% dodge chance if I want to do that. You can see the negative from the heavy armor. I've got 87% parry chance. That's really all I can do. So I just need to survive and keep them busy until the rest of the guys can show up. You can see that was a failed attempt to climb and then some damage from falling. And then she changed her mind, decided to do something different. Same kind of situation here as we did with my rifle guy. Got chances to hit. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the big ward stone here if I can finagle it. There we go.
Objectives updated.
And there, I didn't see a negative pop up or anything, so it does say curse warp effect applied, but I don't actually see anything listed. And from here, I might be able to do an aim shot. Yep. So 62%. Got a hit. Soften him up a little bit. The ghoul's going to climb up there. Okay, so he's going after some other stuff instead of just focusing everybody on me. There goes my archer. What the heck was that? He's buffing the other guys. Yeah, so there's a situation where he moved into my ambush range, so then I got a hit on him. That wasn't good. Even with my armor and stuff, it took a lot of damage there. So this is actually turning out to be a bit tougher than I would have expected for something that's supposed to be normal. So anybody that goes down, there's a chance that they'll be injured. You're going to basically roll an injury roll at the end of the match, just to kind of see what happened. All kinds of horrible things can happen, but also basically nothing. So it's sort of up in the air what will happen to anybody who goes down. He's still there on the field, and I can grab anything he's got on him, but the enemy can also grab anything he's got on him until the end of the turn. He doesn't have anything super important that I would want to make sure the enemy doesn't get. So I'm just kind of positioning myself for a charge attack here. Does a bit more damage if you can do a charge. And he dodged, unfortunately. And all I can do is go into my parry stance. Only 47% chance, though, with these guys. It depends on your level, your weapon skill, your shield, all that other kind of stuff can impact that parry chance. So I want to get these guys over there as fast as possible. I do have a guy engaged down here, which is a bit dangerous. So I may... I really don't like splitting up. I think we're going to stay with the main... Try to focus on these guys down here. You can sometimes sort of position yourself where you can't be seen, and then being in an ambush, if someone comes around the corner, you might be able to get a charge in on them. Sometimes it'll work, other times it won't. Yeah, I really need to get out of there. That guy needs to not be there. And he goes down, that's really bad. I always feel like I'm much slower than my enemies. Some of them are really fast, like the Skaven, if you run into them, are super fast. And I'm mainly just kind of focusing, trying to get everybody all together if possible. So there, I didn't parry. He didn't do a lot of damage, though. Having the heavy armor and the shield will reduce that quite a bit. More guys running around. He made it really far there. Wow. Reload. So this guy back there, who I have shots on. Just him from here. So yeah, I may just do an aim shot. So it'll be 70% chance. Try for it. And then I'm just going to move a little bit over. Kind of changing my positioning a little bit. Do I want to just get out of this combat? Yeah, probably. There's another guy coming right there. So if I flee, they'll get a free shot on me. If I have enough points, I can disengage, which sort of I hop back out of combat. And then get ambushed. Pretty much no way to avoid that, trying to get away. I don't think I can disengage again. Yeah, all I can really do is go into my dodge stance here. I could flee and take a shot to try to get away, but I'll try to dodge. I may have to send somebody else over there to help out. Or a couple people to help out. Okay. So I could go ahead and switch to my other weapon and go charging off. I have a greatsword that does a lot of damage. The Youngbloods do have pretty decent movement too. I'm going to go ahead and reload my crossbow, and I'm actually going to move in this direction over towards this mess. Can I get an aim shot? Yep. Okay. Yeah, we'll try for it. Okay, good hit. And it stunned him. That's good. I don't really have anything else I can do. I've got a lot of those red points, but that's really for just additional attacks and stuff. Or your ambush setting. And if you attack, I don't think you can ambush. Well, I can't ambush with a crossbow anyway, so. I can hear something. Here we go. So here I just want to wail on this guy, take him down. He parried, unfortunately. Not enough damage to take him out this turn. See, my parry failed, even though it's 87%. I think it only works the first time. If you succeed, maybe you get another chance for dodging or parrying. Otherwise, I think it just works on the first one. So here I can get a couple chops in on this guy. And then we'll do the same, the parry stance. So this guy's pretty close. I think I'm going to move him over to help out this other combat. I can actually charge the guy who's down. I think it increases your crit chance. It definitely increases your hit chance. Seems like it increases your damage, but it might just be crit chance that's increased. Couple hits in. I do like, you can see the ghoul has an arrow through his head. So it does kind of have these kind of funny animations when you've shot people with a bow beforehand. And then he's got 42% for his parry. He's a level lower than the other guy, so other things can influence that too. I'm worried about that vampire. Vampire's really dangerous. That's his leader, so he's going to be a pretty good guy as far as skills and stats and stuff. But not happy for me. My poor lone last guy. What do I want to do? I think I'll continue with what I was going to do and just move him towards that combat. Everything else should be relatively under control. Unfortunately, I can't get close enough this turn to do much. Even my ambush, it's too far away to really stop that other guy from getting involved, probably. Couple misses, it's good. So I'm definitely quite new at this, but I've been doing fairly well lately. Oh, that's not good. But this game, this match, may not go super well. So I've got a 95% chance, 66% chance. Just because of my positioning, the other guy with the shield isn't really a target. My guy's sort of in the way, but he's not really that threatening. He's about done anyway, so I may try for the guy that's in combat here. I'm missing everything with this guy in this game. Why not? I'll use my perception, see if we spot anybody trying to sneak around. Don't see anything. It's sort of highlighting there the wordstone. It'll highlight any traps or anything else as well. I may have to switch to his blunderbuss here. Oh, he's heading towards my other guy. Nice hit. He was totally surprised by that ambush. Didn't know my guy was there. So I have a counterattack here. If you parry and have any of the red offense points, you can... another failed fear test. Oh, glad you missed that. Oh, down he goes. Just looting his stuff. I don't think he has anything really. Wow, that was a massive hit. Things have really degenerated into a pretty bad mess here. Can't really afford to lose any more people. I'm not sure if I can get close enough to actually use my greatsword if I switch to it. It takes up some of my movement points to switch weapons. So the question is, where do I want to go with him? I can get a good charge here. Can try to see if we can finish this guy off quickly, and then we'll try to move over the other direction. That's a good hit. Just a massive amount of damage. And then all I can really do is my dodge, 35%, which isn't great. So if I can start taking out some of his guys and force a leadership check, that's kind of my main hope here. I parried again. I miss. I need you to take this guy out. Come on. There we go. So I can sort of edge up to loot him just to see if he had anything of interest. Not really. I'll take his shield, I guess. And then I'm going to move into combat with him as well. Maybe try to draw some fire with my parry. Should be okay. Very successfully dodged. Just back in the parry. Okay, so he barely passed his all-alone test because he's outnumbered in combat. This is really not a good situation to be in. I do have this guy beaten up a little bit. This guy's a little bit hurt as well, but I don't think I can stand against 3 people here. So what I'm going to do is disengage and try to get closer to my buddies. See if we might be able to ambush them running this way. Probably not, though. Just want to focus on the weak guys and take them down to affect his leadership. I'm not in great shape here either. Try to take the guy out. Oh, I just barely didn't get him. I'd say generally, instead of trying to spread damage around, you definitely want to take people out. So I've got a 33% parry. That's about all I can really do to defend myself. Hopefully he doesn't go down this turn as well.
A new round has started.
I failed my parry. Luck is not in my favor this game. I ambushed him. Didn't hit him though. That's too bad. Stay alive, everybody stay alive. A lot of damage. And I'm going to keep trying to whittle off these guys that are in combat already. It hasn't worked for me yet, but it usually does. I'd really like to wound this guy. There we go. nice to stun him or something, though. Failed my parry. Hopefully he can stay alive. Good, 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 good. So I'll just try to keep focusing on these guys that are weak. Try to kill them off. Oh, that's terrible. He should be dead. Again. I mean, he's already dead, but, you know. More dead. Oh, good. Thought for sure he was going down there with that hit. Super close to death. Yeah, this is not going the way I expected it, that's for sure. I really got to take these guys down as fast as I can and try to force a leadership test and hope he fails it. It's about the only way I'm going to get through this. So hopefully I can hit here and take this guy out. Okay. So he's almost at the point where he's going to have to make a leadership test, but not quite. So I'm going to start moving over. If I can get an attack in here. Yep. If you're within kind of the circle around one of your opponents, you can't actually do any actions. So that's what I was looking at. I was hoping that would take him down. Okay, he passed, but failed his fear test. I think that gives him just negatives on his attacks and stuff. I don't know if I can even get out of here. I'm surrounded on 3 sides. Yeah, I think there's nowhere to disengage or flee to. He's totally stuck. So who is the most hurt? Just good for him. Let's see what we can do. But he's pretty much doomed being surrounded by 3 guys like that. I think it's this vampire out there doing something. Okay, if I can take this guy out, they might fail their leadership. I think that's at the end of the turn. I wish I could get around to the guy that's already hurt. Could get an attack in. Yeah. Can go for this guy, do a little bit of damage, but neither one of these champions over here are in good shape.
A new round has started.
Parried, so he's alive for a little while. I'm actually going to counterattack. It would have been nice to actually hit with that. Chances are not real good, though. Okay, so reload, move over, and see if we can maybe get a shot. Actually, from here, can I get a shot? Probably just on the vampire lady. Well, I can go for the other guy, too. Yeah, if I could good position to get hit on the other guy, that would be better, but I don't want to really get in there if I can avoid it with him. Pretty good hit. Why not? Do a little perception. Yeah, that's... Knew that was coming. So now I probably have to make a leadership roll here at some point. No, not yet. You can see it's not quite down enough. So I need to get him over there and get him stuck in on someone I can kill. Here I can only charge her because of the angle. If I get far enough over, maybe I can get a charge in on... I'd like to get the other guy. I don't think I can. There we go. Okay. Excellent. I can even chop away at this guy. And just call that end of turn. Just gonna loot my dude. Pretty decent hit, but he's pretty tough. He's got a lot of health. I definitely don't want him going down and losing that mastercrafted weapon. Try to hit this guy. If I can take him out, then I should be in okay shape. Forcing him to make a leadership roll. And so she took his axe, it looks like. That was my guy that was down there that she looted. Failed my fear test, so I have a reduced chance to hit, but we'll see what we can do. Hey, it worked. Call that the end. I don't know why he's got this other guy hanging out back there. I'm not even really worried about the wordstone at all here. Just trying to stay alive. So now Vampire Lady's in a bit of trouble. I have no idea. The last time I saw their leader was way down here. This is as close as I can get, unfortunately. Let's see if his vampire makes an appearance somewhere. So he is super hurt. So I could actually throw him in there, but I think that's a bit too dangerous. So I'm just going to leave him out of combat. So failing his perception roll. I know there's another guy down there. You can kind of see him on top of the weird statue. No idea where the leader is. So him, I'm going to pull back. Maybe just grab some wordstone with him.
Objectives updated.
It's a little dangerous because there's a possibility that the wordstone can actually hurt you when you pick it up. So I'm only going to roll that die one time. And I'm just going to leave him here, guarding our back.
A new round has started.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to have to take out this other vampire chick to have a chance at actually making him have to make a roll. So I'll get an angle. Yeah, I moved a bit much with the reload, so I can just get a regular shot chance pretty low. Nothing else I could really do that turn other than be an Overwatch, so figured I'd give it a shot. Nice hit. And all I can really do is go into my dodge stance. I've got a decent amount of health left, so staying in here to get the damage in should be okay. That was just a regular miss. That wasn't an actual dodge. You can see the dodge fail on the left side there. I failed my fear test, so again I'm at a reduced hit chance. But she failed the dodge, so that works out again. A lot of misses. And just back into parry. See if this guy's going to try to come up. Doesn't look like it. It's a little restricted here. Let's see if I can get through and around behind. Failed my fear test. Still hit her. I heard armor moving around there. Makes me a little nervous. Just take a little peek down here. I don't see anything, but could try to head towards his cart and loot it. He's pretty weak though, and I don't know where his leader is, so it's a little dangerous to head off by myself like that. So I'll creep forward a little bit. Try a couple perception rolls. Alright, just leave him ambushing, covering the road, just keeping an eye down there.
A new round has started.
So aim shot, still only 48%. Hit. Nice. Once the bodies are gone, it still leaves the little bags. They're pretty much only going to have any wordstone that they grabbed, or it'll have the kind of each guy has sort of a little token for themselves, and there's sometimes an objective, an optional objective to grab the sort of identifying token from specific enemies. So if you can do that, then you end up getting some additional bonuses, bonus experience, that kind of stuff. So just thinking about it, I'm not sure who was carrying most of my wordstone. I think this guy was. was one cluster. Who had my other clusters? Can't remember now. So I failed this fear test, so it reduces the chances of hitting. I can take her down. I should be okay here. And I'd like to loot her because she took that axe from my guy. Actually, she took a bunch of stuff. I don't have any room though, so she took an axe, a hammer, a mace, a bow, and then had the sword and mace herself. I don't really have anything I want to drop to pick up anything. The only thing that's really difficult to find is the axes are a little hard to get. So I'm trying to find the other guy I knew was down this way somewhere. Since I attacked, I can't go in an ambush or any of that kind of thing. I'll go ahead and switch weapons back and reload. So we can engage at a distance if anybody else shows up. So I think he's got some room. And we've got a little bit of space. Grab that axe. I don't know, was the bow from my guy? I think it was a longbow that I had, but I'm not sure. So I'm actually going to take the bow instead of the shield. So somebody can see him down there. I didn't see him when I was looking for my guys. Still have no idea where his leader is. It's the only people he's got left. Take a quick look over this side. I don't know why his body is still there. It shouldn't still be there. Just kind of keep an eye down that way and see if we can spot anybody. Yeah, there we go. He succeeded though. So he's at the point where he's got to make those route test rolls, but he succeeded. So he's sticking in the combat, even with just the two guys. There he got hung up by a trap. Because he's got his leader left, so his leader's going to be using his leadership for the test. So it's always a good thing to try to take out the leader if you can. Are you carrying anything? No. Okay. So nothing in there. Yeah, I'll take the shield one out. Check these for anything. Yeah. So this is sort of stuff for the specific guy, used for bounty objectives. So yeah, it's optional objectives for taking out individual specific people. still in pretty good shape, so I'm going to move him down. In case he comes from our leader, I have somebody else who can help. He's got a shard. Checking all the loot for him. Just I don't want to leave any of the big woodstone pieces behind if I can avoid it. There we go. We don't want to lose the antitoxin if we can avoid it. Used all my movement looting through all that stuff.
A new round has started.
Got some space left. Looks like there's a big chunk here. That one, that one, that one. That's what I want. So the clusters are the biggest ones, worth the most, then the wordstone, and then the other ones are just like one little tiny piece, not worth very much. So the bigger chunks is what I'm going for. There we go. +1 offense point to shoot and aim. That was the warpstone effect. Put him in Overwatch. I'm taking all these fear tests. I don't see anybody. I saw somebody there for a second. See if I can get an aim shot through the window. Take a regular shot as well. Casey might come this way. I'm going to pull back a little bit. And my rifle guy will get a shot on him if he comes this direction. If I move forward, he's going to charge me. Kind of hard to tell exactly how close I can get. That's safe. It doesn't actually show you like exactly the radius of their ambush. There's skills you can take that'll increase the ambush radius too, so it's hard to tell. You can sort of guesstimate a little bit. Set up my own ambush here. If he doesn't come my direction, I'll switch to pistols next turn and start shooting him. Going the other way. Got a nice shot on him. And that was a good hit. So now we can sort of swarm him and try to take him down. heard something. I'm hoping that vampire isn't that close. I'm pretty sure I know where all of his guys are, so I'm going to have him head towards the enemy cart. If I can steal something from it, that would be nice. I thought this would be really quick, but it's taken quite a while because he keeps passing his
round has started.
His rolls there. Doesn't look like I have a shot from here. Too close, probably. Miss. Okay, and then we'll switch weapons here and start hammering on this guy. Wow, that was a good hit. Check the map, see if I can see the vampire. Maybe over there somewhere. Maybe. See if I can get over, finish him off. Yeah. I can't move because I used up all my points. I can't even move forward to kind of check him to loot. So I just have to throw him in ambush. Let's see if I can just get in here enough to loot him. And there's the longbow that disappeared. Take that axe too. Very low chance of getting a perception roll here, but I thought I'd give it a shot. I'm not planning on moving any further forward, just going into ambush. And there he fails. So we win! That was a lot closer than I was expecting, though. Quite a few guys beaten up. So here on the left you can see the Battlegrounds victory is additional stuff I didn't grab myself that I get sort of in. It sort of gives you some extra stuff that was on the field at the time. The lower stuff, the 2 shards and the clusters were things that I actually were carrying with my guys that were still up at the end of the fight. On the right, see 4 of my 9 guys went down, 8 of the enemies went down. Who had the most effect? The MVP, basically. It's my leader, almost always. Took out a guy, lots of damage, grabbed some wordstone.
When the Baron hears how you decimated the enemy, he will be as pleased as a halfling in a pie shop. He may even send a bit of gold by way of gratitude.
Really didn't feel like I decimated him. It seemed like I barely squeaked by there.
Completed.
So now it'll show you any level ups or injuries and that kind of stuff for your guys. So it sort of has things clustered together. If you get a level up, which are these smaller numbers, this is actually really more your level. It's sort of incremental increases. It could be one of your physical stats that you'll get a point, or mental stats, or martial stats. So you can kind of see the way I've got things leveled up here. So he actually got a physical advancement I can use. He got some experience, but no advancements. So he got another physical. No advancements. Okay, so full recovery. So no long-term damage, problems, any of that kind of stuff. Nothing I have to pay to heal up. And he did get a level up. Well, not level up, but a point he can spend. Severed leg. Oh, that's cool. Got a little pig leg. Movement reduced by a meter. Climbing no longer possible. Leap and jump down chance reduced by 25. That's fine for the warriors. I don't really do that with them anyway. I don't use them to explore a lot. But I am going to have to pay for the healing. He won't be able to be used for 5 days.
The gods are with you.
And he got some skill points. Okay, so accuracy and maximum accuracy reduced by 1. Accuracy mainly affects your critical hit chance, so that's not terrible. It's not affecting his actual hit chance, just critical hit chance. But being out for 3 days kind of sucks. We get a physical. Another person with a leg. So 2 guys lost their legs in one mission. Kind of crazy. I've actually got 2 guys who lost an eye. Not at the same time, but then, yeah, this mission, 2 guys who lost legs. So I'm looking like a bunch of pirates here pretty soon. And then kind of overall battle, warband experience, which affects how many guys you can have in your warband, levels of guys, that kind of stuff. So this is some extra stuff and the stuff that I did find. So whatever I grabbed and brought with me. And I got a triage advancement, achievement for something. So just with what I grabbed there for the wordstone, I picked up 43 wordstone. So that's worth a couple hundred gold, which is pretty good. You can see here the medical symbol, how many days, cost for treatment, medical symbol, cost for treatment, cost for treatment. So that's 33 just for treatment. So you can actually just kind of do it all together here if you want. Sometimes you might have someone who's injured. Like I had a guy who got a brain injury, so he would have a 50% chance of not doing anything on a turn if he wasn't in combat. So I was like, I'm not even going to bother paying to treat him, and he ended up dying. So I didn't have to pay the treatment cost or pay him for the mission, which is a little heartless, but hey, I was pretty low on money at the time. So 33 gold just to pay for the medical costs, and then upkeep, so the money for the guys who went on the mission is 41. So you can see how it'll burn through your gold pretty quick. So I'm just going to go through and do my level ups and stuff. So here, I'm just going to go ahead and max out his toughness. So this will affect kind of his rating, which affects your group rating, warband rating overall. Everything's fine. Nothing happened weird to his equipment. Some of these guys might have lost some equipment. It might be kind of strange. Since I am using him with that longsword, I'm going to keep upping his toughness. He didn't go down, so nothing's changed. Increase his toughness as well. He's only got a dagger, so he lost his weapon. So I think he was using an axe, so I'll give him his axe back. I don't think I had anything else. I might have had a pendant on him. So this increases your chances of kind of holding steady against any psychology tests and things. I have sort of other things I can give him if I want, but he's going to be out of combat for a while. Yeah, we'll go with toughness again. I really need these guys to get their toughness up. He didn't go down, so nothing changed. No level ups. He didn't go down. Nothing changed. No increases. He's got his longbow. It didn't get taken away from him. Okay. He'll be out for a bit. This guy will be out for a bit. So when it comes to this kind of stuff, then it's a little bit more iffy about what do you give people. So alertness initiative is like when you're going to move as opposed to everybody else. A little bit of range resistance is nice. Perception, the intelligence affects spell damage, so if you're a magic user, you want to increase that. Everybody else doesn't really do much. Magic resistance by 1. Stun resistance by 2 is okay. Stupidity, paranoia, and deranged passing may be good. Leadership, morale, psychology tests. May want him to go a little faster. Leadership or alertness is probably what I'd go for here. For now, usually fighting, we'll give him leadership. So did he lose anything? Doesn't look like it. He lost some stuff, so he's still pretty low level, not even level 1 yet. Increases toughness. I think you would have had the mace and hammer combo, which is what they start with. And no increases. He didn't go down, did he? No, okay. So yeah, I think that'll be about it, just kind of showing off the game a little bit. I'm not planning on doing like every single one of these missions, just kind of wanted to show the game off a bit. I may play some down the road and pop them up, just so people can check out any advancements I've made in a while. So I am DisturbingPuppet, and that's probably going to be about it for today. I do eventually upload stuff onto my YouTube channel as well, which is also DisturbingPuppet, just because I don't want the streams to disappear forever. So if you're interested, I've got a bunch of Blood Bowl games up there and a couple other random games I've played. But this will probably be it for Mordheim for a while. Maybe in a bit I'll do some more streams of this. If people are interested, I'll upload some onto YouTube as well. We'll see. But thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Thanks.